All right. First and foremost, it's such a pleasure to be here. I just want you guys to know that I just want everywhere to empty like this. I just want you guys to know that firstly, we are colleagues, obviously, but I started 2016, 2017. I also understand that some of us have been doing it since 2010, 2005, 2001, 1999, you know, 1995, but I just know that we all have our strengths. And everything they've said here today, everything, virtually everything, I agree with. But I just want you guys to know that this is probably the reason I'm here. It's not because I'm better than you, right? The reason I'm here as Dayo Ice, because some people be like, oh, this guy, this guy and my younger brother mates. Why ain't gonna try and advise us? I just have to tell you that it's probably because I'm in my field, I'm my area of strength. All right. When it comes to mathematics, I'm very sure there's someone here that is extremely good that I'll be listening to on the other side. So I just want you to just have an open heart, have an open mind, and I want you to know that I'm even happy most of these OGs are not here because trust me, I don't play by the rules. All right, some of the things I do are not something most of them will tell you to do. So far, I believe in if it's working for you, there's no need to let it go. All right. So, firstly, I wrote this book. I wrote this book a while back, and I dare say that everything, like 99% of every questions asked today is actually in this book. If you have this book, you would agree with me that I've touched every questions asked. All right. So what I'm just gonna do, 'cause I didn't have plans to talk. I didn't have plans to. So I was just supposed to answer questions. So before we touch international events, I just want to run through the book. All right. I'll just run through the book. So it's 10 chapters. Chapter 1, getting started. So for a lot of people that have heard me speak, like probably in MC Connect or probably somewhere, you would have heard me say these things over and over again. And I also need to let you know that, see, the possibilities are limitless. I went for an event in First Stack, just something like this in First Stack a while back. Jos Daniel was there. That was the first time I heard that you can charge 800,000 naira. As at then, what we're charging was 100K, 150K, 120. So sometimes you need people to let you know that you can do some things. So some of the things I'll be saying is not from a place of pride, all right? It's just from a place of opening your eyes to see possibilities that this thing is possible, all right? People charge 1.5, people charge 2 million. Facts. There is no job in December that I charge anything less than 1 million in Lagos. And presently, I have over 20 jobs for December alone. Fact. Now, 2021, 2021, the old job I did in 2021 was not up to 10 or 15. 2022, probably 10. All right? So there's growth. So I just want you to know that you can charge. Don't let anybody bobo you. Don't let anybody tell you. I mean, most of the people here, I've interned with them. I've gone out with Ajele. I've gone out with Damola. Yes. So I've gone out with, there's arguably, when I started 2016, 2017, some of the top MCs then, I went out with virtually all of them. All right? So I'm saying all this to let you know that you might be sitting on this side of the all. It doesn't mean you are lower or you're a lesser human. All right? A time is coming where you also be on this side. All right? Where you also be on this side, you'll be talking like, Dayo Ice, I remember the time where this guy spoke to us at Civic. I hope we're on the same page. All right. So, and I need to also let you guys know some of these things so you can see the possibilities. So from 2022 till date, I have done over 50 international weddings. Over 50. I'm not talking of Ghana. Not Ghana. All right? So I've done over 50 international weddings. And I also need to let you know that as of 2020, the only country I had visited was probably Dubai. Do you understand? So I grew up in Ajangbadi. So it's not like maybe this guy, no. It's just basic positioning yourself, being strategic, praying, and God's grace and mercy. All right? So yes, I'll start. Getting started. That's the chapter 1 of my book. I believe they've touched most of the part about getting started, but I'll just tell you this. Once you've identified, because some of the faces I'm seeing here, I mean, Shena Massive, I want to tell getting started, or Stylo, or Steve, but just because, probably because for new people that are here, that have not heard or that don't have an idea of what getting started is. So, as an MC, you want to be an MC. For you to be here, you already know you want to be an MC. So there are basic things I advise people to do. Firstly, you need to identify somebody already doing extremely well. All right? We have a lot of MCs, a lot that are doing well. We have Mojibade Show, we have Ayo, we have TA, we have Damola, we have Sako. Forever is around. Please can we make some noise for Forever? Make some noise. All right? We have Forever. We have Ajele. All right? Now you need to look for the person that speaks to you, because everyone will not speak to you. Everyone will not do what you do. You guys are even lucky. When I started, very few people were doing the kind of things I would have loved to do. Very few people were doing games. The only games they were doing there was probably Gele game and shoe game. Once you don't pass that two, you don't turn this wedding to market. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I started, I looked around, I checked IG, I checked YouTube. I mean, most of the guys that were really doing this, that were doing extremely well, were comedians, And like I said earlier, I'm standing here because we are talking about this. If we're talking about comedy, I won't be standing here. Phage will probably be standing here. Do you get my point? So a lot of people then were comedians. And I mean, I started watching YouTube videos that, okay, maybe if I watch YouTube, cram like 3-4 jokes once I reach events. Most of the jokes don't even make me laugh. You understand? So I was like, how do I go? And you need to also know that, see, what people pay for is value. It is not fine boy. It is not. I've gone to places where I get and people like, now this guy be Dayo Ice. I'm like, now maybe Dayo Ice. Sometimes we might even be gathered and people will probably be talking to Oba or talking to someone else, thinking they are Dayo Ice. And I'm good. I mean, that works for me. It just tells you that, see, there is no special anything, but there's a place of prayer, there's a place of God's grace, there's a place of planning, there's a place of positioning, all right? There's also a place of setting yourself apart. You need to be different. People need to, when you do an event, after an event, people need to look at that event or look at you and be like, what did this guy do? I think one thing that really helped was the fact that when I started 2016, 2017, that was when, because I was just looking at what could make me stand out from these other great guys. I mean, as at then, we're charging 100 or 150K, and you talk to some planners and they're like, oh no, that they spoke with Ajele or Damola and they wanted to pay them 500, 600, 800K. And in my mind, I'm like, people charge, I mean, I was working with a bank then, and they were paying me less than 200K. And I was like, what exactly do these guys do that they're paying them 800, 600? So I knew I can't beat these guys in comedy. So that's the first thing you need to do. So sorry if I'm talking to mostly wedding MCs, but I believe every other type of MC you can pick one or two things, all right? So I knew I can't beat these guys in comedy. I can't compete with them. Then we looked at, okay, let's start doing more of games at events, all right? Let's start doing, so I started from there. I started doing games. So I'm saying this to let you know that what you are bringing to the table as an MC might not even be something that is popular now, all right? So like I said earlier when I started that, some of the people that are probably your mentors that you look up to, they might not even agree with what you want to start doing. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying you should be classless, or you should be vulgar, or you should go out of, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So when we started and we started doing games, we go for events, and to most planners, it was new, it was different. It was new, it was different. Like, okay, this guy is coming, I remember, Prophecy is here. I've never told him before. I went for a meeting with a planner, and the planner told me that if if Honey Tongue is not available, that they have to talk to Prophecy because they have a way of just getting everyone involved. So what I'm telling you right now is, how do you get everyone involved? Because trust me, even I know some planners that their brothers are MCs, some planners that their siblings, their family members are DJs. They don't call them for events. They don't call them for events because, trust me, everybody wants their client to be happy. So it's not about, nobody wants to be biased. The planner that is using you today, tomorrow they might stop using you, and it's fine, and it's that how life works. But I would prefer if someone stop using you today, the only reason they stop using you is probably because of pricing, because of money, and not because somebody is utter, or maybe you're not doing well, or maybe you messed up their last event. So once you start, identify with someone, look for someone. You don't have to be in their faces. All right. Someone can be your mentee from afar. All right. Just identify, okay, I like the way this guy does his things. Identify with them. If you have to pay to learn from them, please pay to learn from them. All right. If you have to pay for a coaching session from them, please pay for a coaching session from them. All right. So that's getting started. Identify someone, get a mentor, and all that. I believe they've touched all that. All right. So now I'll be talking about managing family and friends. Managing family and friends. Like I said, most of the things that we've talked about here is actually in this book. So how do you manage family and friends? How do you get family and friends to pay you? So just 1 minute. I'm just going to go to... So as a startup, your family and friends can be your greatest blessing, and it can also be your greatest curse. All right? It is normal everywhere in the world that people don't really appreciate what they have. People don't really appreciate who they have access to. It is normal. Even your cousin might want to get married. And trust me, your cousin will call you and tell you, I beg, you know this guy, this Ajele guy, I beg, I the reason to use them. Or you know this guy with the experience. You know Larry J, you know I get a number. I beg send that to me. And in your mind, you're like, I be MC too. But it is normal. So one thing I do, like Tia rightly said, I don't do any event for free. I don't care who you are. I will never do an event for free. So what I do, if I notice that this person is not someone I can tell no. All right? So once you tell me the date, trust me, I am always booked. I'll just tell you, man, these dates don't go. So I try not to fall into that trap. All right? I'll tell them, oh, okay. What date is it? Once they tell me the date, I say, that date, I'm booked for that date. But you know what I can do? So it also depends on how close you are with this person. So I can now tell them that, oh, okay, I have someone, I can refer someone, I can give you someone. So that automatically moves that stuff away from me. But as a startup, so like what I tell people, if you are starting up, as a startup, I'll rather work and be paid. I'll rather work every time and be paid less than sitting at home and doing nothing. All right? As a startup. All right? Then the second one, so that's where your family and friends come in. The place of helping you repost, reaching out to them to tell their friends, their colleague. And even recently, I realized that 90% of the time, people don't tell anybody about you. Nobody cares. That's the truth. Nobody. See, I know people that I'll be in their DM or we'll meet like that. Say, my bro, I beg. I like all these kind of clients here, they follow week. I beg. When next they reach out, I'm like, but I still tell four. I still send your page to 4. Nah lie. You are all you have, all right? You are all you have. So it now brings me to the question MC Olora asked about pricing and how to see. I'm going to tell you how pricing works. So this place I also have how to deal with planners and all that and pricing. So I'm going to tell you one thing I've learned about pricing. So one of the very first advice I got when I started was from a DJ, and he told me, don't ever overprice yourself out of the market. All right? So if I want to increase, so every year I do a price review. Standard. It is standard. All right? 4 years ago, I was probably doing I was probably doing 4 years ago, I was probably doing like 250, 200, and all that. But because I've been able to review my prices every year, I've been able to, and by God's grace, it has brought me this far. So if you have a planner that uses you every time, you have a planner that you're always working with, here's what I advise. Before you review your price, before you increase your price, please make sure you have like 10, 15 jobs already for the year. All right? Make sure, don't review your price. Don't jump from 400 to 600 or 500 or 800 when you don't have jobs. Because there's a probability that after increasing your price, you might not get a job for the next 6 months. So if you have 15 jobs already for the year, even if you don't get jobs for the next 6 months, are we together? Even if you don't get jobs for the next 6 months, automatically you have something you're doing. People keep saying, the planner that didn't pay you 800, like, this guy is still at work. They don't even know how much charged. All right. So I'm just going to stop here for now. I'm not just going to go through. I want to now go through for international events. All right. So I have all that in my book. I don't know if there's any other thing. How to get new clients, pricing. So I want it to be a bit more interactive. All right. Can I get a second mic? I want it to be a bit more interactive. All right. I started doing international events 2022. All right. 2022. And I'll give you one reason why you should consider doing international events. So let's assume now everyone in this room, aside the big wigs, of course, all right, the highest, maybe besides Larry J, Damola, Oniru, and every other person, yeah? So Larry J is looking at me. The highest everyone gets paid, let's say they won't pay you maybe 1 million. Are we together? That's the highest you get paid for 1 gig. So now, if you get paid, I'm going into international events. If they pay you 1 million naira for 1 job, so let's assume you do 4. You do 4 in a month, which barely happens aside December. Now that's 4 million naira. Do you know that 4 million naira is still not up to $3,000? It's not up to $3,000. So now, if you have built an international market, international audience over time, let's even assume you're charging $1,500, $2,000 per job. And there's some days I do tours and I do like 4, 5, 6. So now let's assume I even do 2K per one. And I do 5 or I do 4. Let's say that's $8,000, right? Just for probably a month or 2 months. Now, if you doing a job in Nigeria, and remember, Naira keeps dropping. It keeps dropping. So this idea dropped in my mind like 2, 3 years ago. Remember, and that was when I started pursuing international gigs, right? So if you have $6,000 for 3 jobs or 4 jobs outside Nigeria, for you to, so now can someone help me with the calculation? Let's say $6,000 times, I believe dollar by this money is 1,006. So $6,000 times 1.6, how much is that? $6,000 times 1.6? 9.6 million. So now how many jobs are you going to do in Nigeria to get 9.6 million? Exactly. And you will need, for you to even get 10 jobs that will pay you 9.6 million, you will need the grace of God, a very strong referral bank, a very strong planner that supports you. So that's one reason why you shouldn't limit yourself. Like I said, I started traveling, I've never traveled till 2020. So it's not like, so you need to be positioned, you need to have a mindset that you can do this. Don't let anybody, don't let anything. Before I started doing international job, it was for the 1%. It was not for everybody. We know the people that they were calling for international gigs. It's recently now that I'll just do flyer, I'll do this, and everybody like, everybody we started doing, if a person ever get visa, say, go do flyer, say UK, and the truth is, it helps your mindset. It's a mindset, it's just a mindset thing. All right? You shouldn't look at international jobs. See, let me tell you, jobs are available internationally, but now visa MCs no get. Now visa you no get. You can send a DM to 10 planners in I don't like UK, in the US or Europe, all right? Or probably I don't like UK because UK gigs, they don't really pay. So the MCs in UK, you see them, they want to do a job in Europe, in Greece, and they'll tell you, no, I'll collect 500 pounds. And this is including their flights, and maybe clients will just give them 2 nights accommodation. Whereas the MCs in the US, see them tell you 3, 5, 4K, 4, 5, $5,000. So yes, so I'll just go to questions. So please, it's a mindset thing. It's a mindset game. Don't see yourself that I may not even get passports. That's where to start from. A lot of people pray and want international jobs, but you don't even have passports. You don't have passports. So that's a very good place to start. You have a passport, you look for someone, maybe one of these agency or these agent people, they will guide you. So I used to tell people that the best visa to have, the best visa to get as a first timer for me. So most of the things I'll be sharing are things that have worked for me. All right, most people might not agree, but it's fine. All right, the best visa to have for anyone in this room that you've not gotten any visa is the UK visa. Now, if you have a UK visa, you can get a France visa easily. You can get a France visa. Now, once you get a France visa, you don't enter Europe. I don't know, in case you don't know, but I know most people here know that already. Once you have a France visa, all right, you can work in the whole of Europe. Italy, Germany, give me the names, Switzerland, everywhere in Europe, you can work once you have a France visa. So because you have a UK visa, you can get a France visa, right? So now let's say you've done a UK, you've from UK, you entered France. Now, if you have a Europe visa, you might not be able to get a UK visa. Because UK is strictly documents. UK is just plenty God's grace and plenty calling your mother in the village. All right? But of course, you can also arrange your documents and nothing. But once you have a UK visa, you can get access to Europe. And once you enter Europe, you don't enter Italy, you don't enter. Once you've done UK like twice, you've done Europe, right? You've done Europe like, and this place is, it's so funny that from Italy to probably France is 80,000 naira for flights. Go come. And that you don't need any other thing. All you just need is get there, still show them that same visa. You enter, you stroll around, you come out, you buy another ticket, Amsterdam, another 80,000. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So my point is this: UK visa, Schengen visa. Once you have a Schengen visa, you cannot apply for a US visa. So because of the time thing with US, these days it's always difficult to. So when I bought my US stuff, it was 2021. The first 2021, I bought my US visa. When I saw the date, 2023, I was like, I don't even like US before. And sincerely, I didn't like US. Because I was like, US, so that they kill. My brother, now who no go, no. If you just come out for this country, like 2 weeks, come back. Lights no day, fuel no day. You can't do filling station like 6 hours. Like 2 people come up, but you now start thinking like, man, because you might think you are very, very comfortable right now. You're doing so well. Trust me. And because you never come out, you never cross, you never go. All right? So now, when I got to my US, when I got to US embassy, sorry. So I'm giving these examples for as many people that can see themselves in me to let you know these things are not big deal. All right. When I got to the US embassy, they canceled like 90 people ahead of me. Reject. I have a child in Canada. I just got back from Canada. No. Reject. Mama, what are you going to do? In fact, there was a lady that she's actually the fastest runner in Africa. She got there. Okay, who are you? They Googled her name. They checked everything. Reject. I said, "What do you am I?" But I mean, I was just. And one thing again is, I know they talked about appearance and all that. I practically on that queue of over, at least the people I could see behind me were like not inside anybody that have gone there. What I'm saying, not inside the US consulate itself. Outside that were on that queue, we were over 500, and I was practically the only one that actually wore suits. In fact, that lady that I said was the fastest one. The trousers which she wear are like this. All those track, all those athletes stuff. She was just looking. She now wore slippers. you know. So they rejected a lot of people. And by God's grace, when I got there, this was the only question they asked me. And anybody that have gone for a US visa before will agree that I'm actually not wrong. This was the only question they asked me. Tell us about yourself. Have you traveled before? Because they want to be sure you're coming back. And thankfully, I just got back from UK like a week before that time. And now like this, the US, this thing bill, as with the answer, everybody there your back, they look. Some people go to look, say, man, I reject this guy, more come, I better more move on. So people are waiting like, oh God, just collect your rejection, more move on. And the lady was like, have you traveled before? I said, oh yes, I just got back from UK. I've been to Germany, I've been to Italy, I've been to France, I've been to Omo. As I just they call out, small thing, everybody for that offer just they clap for me, say, wow. Wow. You know, because the truth is, every other person that have gone ahead of me, nobody has actually traveled that much. And the truth is, some of them actually have that money. And thankfully, I've been able to build that over time. All right? It might take a year for you to build a good statement of account for UK, but you need to start from where you are. You need to have a target. As of 2021, I didn't even believe I would ever want to go to the US. US. But God, I mean, you are here for a reason, trust me. God is probably just planting in your heart that, on this way, this guy, they talk. You might not need it for now. It might be next 3 years. But you need to start planning it. And that was how I got my US visa. I got the US visa. Oh boy. When the lady, they carried the hand, go to the other paper. I said, sorry, I can tell you more. She's like, no, don't worry. And she gave me the paper. I was excited. Now, when I came out, do you know that if you have a US visa, you get your Canada visa within a week? Fact. So this is how I got virtually all the visas I have. Once you apply for Canada visa, you can try it. Go to their site. The first things you see is, do you have a US visa? Or are you a US Kinikon? Once you click yes, they will request for the details. Once you put in that details, I know people that have been waiting for Canada visa for like two years, 1 year plus. All right? So like I said, start from UK, enter Schengen. From Schengen, enter US. From US, Canada. I mean, if you have all these visas. All right. So, do we have questions so that I can?
What specifically, what do you think were the key things that you did or put in place to achieve that breakout, to appeal to them? Because we are here in Nigeria. Then the second question,
Can I do one so that I won't forget the second one?
Okay.
All right. So first things first, I need to tell you that every one of us here like this, especially wedding MCs, can relate that we can all do a job, like we can all do a wedding. And that's why if you follow me, you know that I'm a noisemaker. I will hype myself, like say, even if you come meet me, you're going to look at me like this, say, that this guy said I'm the baddest for Africa. See, because what we do is the same thing. There are sometimes I, your mic will post a video, I'll be like, God, if I collect this video, and the same thing I go do, I go kill him. Because all of us can actually kill it. What sets you apart is how much, especially in these days of social media, what sets you apart is how much noise you can make, all right? And how much opportunities you get. I used to tell people, see, there's no superstar. Now people, when they give opportunity, they shine. You can tell, I'm very sure some of you must have gone out with probably Ajele, or gone out with Damola, or gone out with me. I'm like, what did this guy do? I feel do him. Yes, you can do it. But it's not for you to get that opportunity. That's where the problem is. So for international events, trust me, anyone in this room will kill it. But you get visa. That's the problem. Trust me. See, all this is what they do for Lagos. When we say we know they send ourselves. Where Ayomai go scatter everywhere, Steve go scatter everywhere. When we say we know they see as big deal. If you do one for London or do one for US, those people know they are not. You know, Nigeria is a very difficult audience. I can see we need to salute ourselves. I'm serious. So this thing we have, this thing we do in Lagos, this thing we do in Nigeria, that we just want to stay in Lagos, Nigeria, and be competing with ourselves. No, I'm not your problem. We need to take this thing outside. There is money outside Nigeria. It's the truth. I'm not your problem. Because you just see my page, you see, I just want to feed my family. I don't have any business with you. Do you understand? And my prayer, and this is what I tell all my friends, that see, I want to meet you at JFK. I want to meet you at ITRO. I want to meet you at CDG. I'm like, Steve, how far now? Where you go now? That's the prayer. That's the prayer I have. I don't have any, so whatever it is you're doing, all right? Have I answered your question?
Well, to an extent.
Okay.
So the second question is this. So
No, sorry, I just want to be sure I've answered. So my point is, the way I've been able to break through, the way I've been able to break through is because firstly, I got my visas. Secondly, I was able to deliver. At least the same thing, there is no magic anywhere. The same thing you do here, just replicate it on a bigger scale. All of us here do games. In the US, UK, all these guys know they do all these things. They don't have that time. It's probably one or two of them that follow us on IG. Then I say, this is the guy they do for Lagos. They don't do all these things we do here. So the market is bigger out there. So trust me, once you work with a planner, although it now depends on country, UK does not pay. All right? It's just good for you to get the visa. Of course, once in a while you get people that pay, but compared to the US and Europe, UK does not really pay. I need to also let you know that, see, I started 2017. It might not be a lot. It might not be, 2016, 2017. And I really started getting my big break 2022. All right, that was when I started getting more jobs. But please, you need to put yourself out there. You need to be very, see, maybe because this is all, I resigned from the bank. I worked with the bank for almost 10 years. I had to resign to do this fully. Maybe because this is what I do fully now. All right? So you need to carry it on your head. Like your life depends on, like when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking of, okay, what can I post? What can I do? What can I do differently? All right? You need to carry, if you want to succeed, if you want to survive, all right, you need to carry this MC thing. It's no longer what we do that they give you 10K, 20K. It's not a full-blown career that people are feeding families, building houses, buying cars and all that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Dayo Ice.
Can we put our hands together for Dayo Ice? Thank you.